Something I always love to have around Christmas are paperwhites. These gorgeous flowers give me a reminder that spring will be coming at some point in the future. They're daffodils really, white daffodils, and you can force them. So you plant them, put them in the dark for a couple of weeks and then take them out. Although because I'm planting mine very late, good Lord, they've already forced in the bag. Look at that. That's amazing. So I'm going to be planting those this afternoon, laying them up around the house, and then we'll have beautiful smelling paperwhites all over Christmas. So I'm back in the greenhouse with my gorgeous William Morris trowel. You might hear a little bit of noise because just outside my husband Joe is putting up a wood store, but I'm in here planting paperwhites. Now, one of the things I love about country houses are the fact that they are mixtures of cultures from all over the world, probably, to be honest, reflecting the UK's imperial past. And one of the things you always find in a country house is a bit of chinoiserie. So I have this bowl, I think it belonged to my mother, and I'm going to be planting it up with these paperwhites. And as I showed you earlier on, they've already started to bud. I was a little bit worried because I'm planting them so late. However, I think nature has done me a favour by being so busy in work. So I'm going to pop my compost in. I am really lucky that we have some compost beds here behind one of the garden sheds. And over the last 4 years, I've been turning it, and now I'm at a point where I actually have my own compost, mainly. We do buy some, I'll have to be honest. I'm not completely self-sufficient yet, but I hope one day to be self-sufficient in compost at least. I have thought about starting a kitchen garden, and I think one day I will have more vegetable patches than I currently have, but because I'm dividing my time between working in London and living in Wales, probably about 40% of the time in London and about 60% of the time in Wales, I don't really have the chance to do all of the gardening that I would like, water when it's an incredibly warm summer, and so often if I have vegetables, they die. So I'm going to wait until I retire, which hopefully is in about a year or so. Anyway, I have popped all of the compost in that I need, and now I'm going to place my paperwhites. Now the great thing about paperwhites is you can pack them quite solidly in the bowl. So I'm going to probably put about 6 of these gorgeous, and they're fragrant, these gorgeous bulbs in here. Maybe 5, and then I'll find somewhere lovely to put in the house. I'll just sprinkle a little bit over the top. Oh, my goodness, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I've got that to do, and I think I've got at least 10 more pots. I'm going to be here for the rest of the afternoon, so take care. I'll see you soon. One of the things I love about living in the little baby castle is the amount of birds that we have in the garden. But you only have the birds because I look after them. And so I love to feed the birds, as Mary Poppins, was it Mary Poppins? Yeah, Mary Poppins said. And I bought these beautiful bird feeders last year from my local garden centre. But honestly, I'm not massively happy with them. They've got quite sort of gluggy inside. The bird seed tends to stick. Then it starts to grow as grass, and you know, I'm concerned about bird flu. So when I was at the marvellous Abergavenny Garden Centre Christmas fair the other day, I just went and bought some standard bird feeders, and I think these ones, they're plastic and metal. They've got no fancy bits on them, and they're going to be absolutely perfect to keep my birds fed over the winter and, more importantly, make sure that they are safe. So I got myself some extra value bird feed. Now, I often put out scraps from dinner, and I'll put extra bread or any crackers that are going off. I put those in the garden. But I also think it's important, like I look after my own nutrition with nuts and seeds, to do the same for the birds. So I've got in here, apparently this is going to attract blue tits, goldfinches, coal tits, chaffinches, green finches, and great tits of the garden. We have so many of those already. It's a seed mix ideal for year-round feeding. I'm not being sponsored, I'm just reading the label, and in it goes. What a satisfying noise. I do not have much success with fat balls, so I put my fat balls out and they don't really like them. They tend to just sort of rot in here, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've been told I shouldn't leave them out because apparently squirrels eat them, but I don't know about you, squirrels need to eat too. So I'm going to give up on the fat ball dispenser and going to give the squirrels a Sunday banquet. In the meantime, I'm going to feed the birds, and we have lots of bird feeders around the garden, and I shall be gently placing them over the next 10 minutes or so. And in the tree there, I can spot my little friend the robin. He's very intrigued at what I'm doing, and he's definitely going to have some Sunday lunch. Hello. You're very welcome. I'm doing some odd jobs in the garden at the moment, making sure I feed the birds and kind of putting the garden to bed. I put away the garden furniture a couple of weeks ago, but now I need to put the barbecue to bed too. Here's my lovely barbecue, and it's known as a big green egg, which I absolutely adore. I use it most of the time to store bird feed, I have to be honest. I don't have that many barbecues, but I bought it when I first moved here. When I do a Côte de Boeuf on a Sunday afternoon in the summer, this is absolutely marvellous. And it can get a little bit mouldy. Grass can grow inside. See, storing my bird feed. Oh, look at that. Honestly, nature's amazing. It will grow anywhere, even where there's no light. So I need to make sure I give it a quick clean, take off any of the moss that has grown. And then, like anyone, you have to prepare for bed. I think this is a little bit like the garden brushing its teeth before bedtime. So if you like, next year, I will cook a fabulous roast in here on a Sunday afternoon. I'll film it and you can all cook along with me. So there we go. I think, what a satisfying sound. I think my egg is ready for bed. Yes, indeedy. A little bit of moss here at the back. Let's get the duvet on. Look at this. I'm going to get so dirty, and my father-in-law's coming over in a minute for tea. I think that's it. It's so heavy that it arrived on a pallet, and we had to get a sort of a wincher to bring it in here, so I'm not moving it anywhere from here. We get quite wet weather in this part of Wales over the winter, and so I want to make sure that I protect this and that it will come out on sunny days. Lovely. Always jobs to do here, even on a Sunday afternoon. Now, if you'd excuse me, I have to get ready because I've got to make tea for my father-in-law.